Hello lovely people, my name is Charlotte Pridmore, founder of All Woman, and this week we're talking about riding the wave of motivation. So this month's context is very much geared around All Woman Wellness and the program that I've got coming up. And today we're really talking about, well, the reason I'm talking about it today is because I am in this, like I am literally living what I'm talking about. So the photos that you're seeing on my social media, the black and white ones, the really lovely ones, were done pretty much the day after I finished my 8-week program. So that 8-week program was 3 PT sessions a week. I was doing home workouts. I was following a very, very lovely but very specific eating plan. The last 3 weeks of that plan involved pretty much lots of egg white, white fish, white meat, very few carbs, etc., etc. So I have never looked that lean before. And I don't look that lean now. So what I am experiencing, and what I've experienced a lot in my life, is this: after you've achieved something great, this back to normal life situation. And in the context of what we're talking about in the masterclass this week, which I've got coming up, if you're not already registered, click the link, it will be on this page somewhere, is this concept of all or nothing. And so when we hit our goals, when we get to a certain level and we're just like, oh my God, this is amazing, I feel amazing, there is a natural return to form. And I've gained about probably 4 or 5 pounds since I've done my lean 8. I'm continuing to train, I continue to eat well. I'm just not on as rigid eating because I have a life and I love food, right? So I want to talk about the reality of going from something, because the thing is, on social media we see all these girls in bikinis, you see photos like that of me, and I'm not comparing myself to those, but my point is that you could look at that photo and go, oh my God, like I look at that photo now and go, oh my God, look how lean I am, oh my God, look how strong I look. And we can get into comparison, and we don't, and now I've been through it, I understand what it takes to look like that. And to look like that all the time, for me, would suck because it would mean that I would have to really restrict the things that I love, right? So even going from sort of that very sort of regimented program back to normal life, even if you've been doing like a weight loss class or, you know, one of the weight loss classes, and then you've got to your goal weight and you've returned back to normal, that's what I want to talk about, because having a balanced mindset when we've achieved big things is actually the key to long-term success. And it's actually, I think, the hardest bit. Because when we're on it, as we say, and you know, I talked about negative self-talk last week, when we're on it, we're feeling good and we're in this vibe and we've got this energy about us, and then say we hit the goal. Now for me, I don't know about you, but I have been on a diet trying to lose weight. I have had a weight issue. I haven't been overweight my entire life, but I've had an issue with my weight in here my entire life. So one of the things that I found really difficult was when I got to a goal weight, I'm like, what do I do now? Like, I don't know what to do, like, because I've been constantly trying to lose weight, trying to get constantly in that energy. So it was like, when I get there, I'm just like, oh, don't really know what to do now. So for me, and doing the work that I've done, and the reason that this program is even a thing, is because I realized that I had to find peace. I had to find a space. And so what we're actually really talking about here is finding the gap, is finding, living in and thriving in the gap between all or nothing, because that's what we're talking about. Because the fact is that if you exercise regularly, you know, track what you're eating, and there is more going, you're burning off more than's going in, you're going to lose weight. If you stop doing that, you're going to gain weight. Now, I'm not a nutrition expert, I'm not a fitness expert. That's just common sense. Like, the basics of it are that as long as we're burning off more than we're putting in, we'll stay the same weight, we'll stay fit and healthy, and we'll lose weight depending on what our goals are. But it's easier said than done, right? So I've always had this, in the past, I've had this mindset that once I get there, everything will be fine. We have this delusion that we get to this goal, And then we're like, oh, this is me now. This is me. Now I'm here in this body. I can just go back to doing what I was, going back to being me. And then we go, oh my God, I've put all the weight back on. Well, because we've returned to form. Now, while I think that, there is a shift in identity needed, for sure. There is a shift in identity needed if we're going to become somebody who really cares about their wellness. But that isn't depicted by the outside things. That's got to be an internal change, as you heard me talk about before. So what I've learned is that while a shift in energy and a shift in identity is necessary, we've got to actually decide how we want to be, how we want to feel, how we're prepared to live, and how we're going to look after ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because the mentally bit and the emotionally bit are the bits that help us stay in that gap, that beautiful gap between all or nothing, where we can be ourselves, live our bloody lives, enjoy ourselves, and still feel good about who we are, how we look, and how we feel. Finally, tip 3. Don't rely on motivation. It's fleeting, it cannot be trusted, and it comes and goes. This whole video is called Riding the Wave of Motivation, because it is an ebb and flow situation. So the best thing to do here is to sustain some habits, your minimum habits that support your long-term goal. So when the motivation dips, you know that you're going to be doing the things that you've chosen that you can do no matter what, that are going to support your long-term goal. So for instance, mine are, I move at least 3 times a week. My minimum is 3 times a week. I have a buffet table of things. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force myself to do a really strenuous HIIT workout. I'm going to go for a walk, a stomp, whatever. So I also have, there's other things on that list. So I'll do what feels right in the moment if I'm not feeling motivated. If I always have a shake in the morning. I enjoy them. I love them. It's a habit. I have one 7 days a week. I absolutely love it. So no matter what habits support my long-term goal when I'm in a minimum situation, when I'm at my lowest ebb of motivation. When the motivation comes, ride that wave like for everything it's got. Go to your maximum. My maximum is 5 times a week, exercise. It's not 7, I'm not mad, I need some rest. So my maximum is I'll work out 5 times a week, and I'll eat really well, and I'll eat my carbs at lunch and maybe not in the evening, and I'll have lots of white fish, and I'll feel it, and I'm in it, and I'm like, yay. But if we compare week 1, which I was really high in motivation, and then week 2, the motivation goes, if I am sustained on my minimums, I can just love myself through that process. But if we don't do that, we look at this week and go, oh, I'm being rubbish this week, and we slip straight into nothing, straight into the negative self-talk. So when the motivation dips, stick to your minimums and don't beat yourself up. Every time you do anything in that minimum week, in the week where you're not feeling it, where the motivation's gone, you don't beat yourself up. You praise yourself for getting out of bed and having your shake. You praise yourself for going on the 3 walks. Yes, it wasn't 5 HIIT workouts. So what? We are a woman. We've got hormones. We are going to feel motivation some weeks. We're not going to feel tired and unmotivated other weeks. As long as we know ourselves well enough, care about ourselves well enough to go, do you know what? I'm going to praise myself when I'm smashing it, and I'm going to praise myself when I'm in my minimum week. That's what I call it. Like, I'm just going to love myself through it and know that my next wave of motivation is coming. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's been inspiring for you to love yourself and just to know that it's a process and to know that you're a human. So the masterclass is the 21st and the 22nd, which I think is tomorrow and the day after. If you've not registered, I'd love you to join me in the masterclass so I can get to know you and we can chat and stuff. So the link will be somewhere here, and I'll see you in there. Take care. Bye.